Prepare to experience the strongest radio allowable by law. Secrets will be revealed. Myths dispelled. From the studio gym where excuses never apply, it's Superhuman Radio with your host, Carl Lenore.
This is Science for Humans with Dr. Jeff Galini.
Hey, Dr. Jeff, how you doing? Dr. Jeff, can you hear me? Did I do something wrong? Dr. Jeff, are you there? Huh. This is odd. I know he's there. This has been going on all week. We had this problem. He says, I can hear you, but you can't hear. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I know what it is. Hold on. How about now, Dr. Jeff?
Can you hear me?
Yes, much better. Thank you. My problem. Okay, so welcome back to another episode of Science for Humans with my co-host, Dr. Jeff Galini. And we're going to be talking about prostate health. But before we get into that, I got to ask you, I see a lot more people reaching out to you about samples and stuff. Is there anything special that we're offering right now?
You know, you're just getting the Dr. Jeff feel-good package right now.
Okay.
So all you got to do is just say, hey, got any samples? And you're going to get a variety of things that I've got sitting here.
So
normally they get some carbolin, some crealkaline, some pre-workout. You know, I'll throw in a shaker bottle.
It's always a surprise, not only to the people who receive the package, but to what Dr. Jeff is going to send when he starts putting the package together. I hear a lot of people on Facebook saying that they can't believe they asked for one little thing and they got a big box of stuff. So go to superhumanradio.com, click the Ask the Scientist banner at the bottom of the page, and ask Dr. Jeff for some stuff. That's it. Just say, hey, right. Dr. Jeff, send me some stuff.
Send me some stuff. That's what they do. Hey, I told Seth, I would say, hey, Seth, because, you know, All American Pharmaceutical is now listening live to the show, so that's kind of exciting.
This is so cool. So when I walk in to All American Pharmaceutical for my quarterly show, I'm standing there talking to Seth, and I realize they hear my voice in the background. They have the Superhuman Radio show playing through our channel continuously throughout the whole building. How annoying could that be that these poor people have to listen to me talk all day long?
You know, they enjoy it because, you know, it's in the break room. But, again, they're getting good information. So, you know.
That's what it's all about. And to continue on with good information, John from Laverne, California, asked for you to do a topic on prostate health. So before we can talk about prostate health, what is the prostate gland and what purpose does it serve, Dr. Jeff?
You know, and that's a good question because so many people are having prostate issues. You know, it's a little gland. And it's interesting because the name prostate comes from the Greek word, I'm not going to pronounce the Greek, but prostates, which means stands alone, protect, guardian. But it's a very important endocrine gland of the male reproductive system. I never really even knew what it did until I started to do some research. You know, you've heard about the prostate, but you know, unless you remember your anatomy and physiology from college, you kind of forget some of this stuff.
Right.
But its main function is to secrete a slightly alkaline, kind of a milky fluid in appearance, and that usually contains about 30% a semen along with the spermatoza and seminal vesicle fluid. And this is all important for the entire reproductive system.
In fact,
interesting.
Doesn't some of that fluid is actually the medium that protects the sperm? Like, for instance, I know the prostate produces something called pre-ejaculatory seminal fluid, which coats the urethra and keeps any residual urine and acidity from destroying the sperm as it travels out.
Correct. You know, the semen needs to be slightly alkaline in order to, do its thing. So, you know, all of these fluids and things help to neutralize the acids, not only during the ejaculation, but also going into the vagina tract and things. So again, that whole fluid, very, very important for reproduction. Without it, I don't believe reproduction could take place.
Do you think that some of these supplements out there really work? There's lots of supplements out there that claim to help with prostate health. Do you have any top supplements on your list?
Yeah, I mean, you got to first look at, according to the American Cancer Society, they're now saying that more than 190,000 new cases of prostate cancer are diagnosed in the USA alone every year. And when you look at what their top requirements are, or recommendations, the first one is keep a healthy weight and exercise regularly. Then they have don't smoke. And then, of course, get a blood test, rectal exams annually when you become 50 years. So, being healthy is probably the first thing. When you look at, what supplements are touted, there are quite a few. We're going to talk about food sources that contain a lot of these natural components that you find in supplements. But I don't think there's any miracle, supplement. It's all about prevention. So when you look at things like saw palmetto, this is one that helps with the enlarged prostate. There's some research that shows that, that does help to reduce that. Nettle's root is another one that's great for prostate health. Red clover contains a lot of antioxidants that help to fight different types of cancer growth. And, of course, vitamin B6 and vitamin C are essential for prostate health. As we talked last year just about the importance of, these vitamins that we kind of forget about. But one thing I hadn't thought about is soy.
Really?
Soy contains selenium. There's zinc, and selenium and zinc are really important for prostate health. So some organizations are recommending, adding some soy, some miso, tofu, and things of that nature. Omega-3s, fish oils, very, very important. And the list kind of goes on, but a couple of my other top ones, besides zinc and selenium, green tea, great for preventing, cancer, getting rid of a lot of the bacterial infections that
you broke up there, Dr. Jeff. What was the supplement again?
Green tea.
Green tea. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. Catechins. Yes.
A lot of for anti-cancer properties. But those are kind of my top supplements. I got more foods than I do supplements.
So, in 2014, we did a show about a study, a longitudinal study that followed some 16,000 men. And you're not going to believe what they showed protects the prostate against developing both cancer and benign prostatic hyperplasia.
What?
Orgasm. So they looked at men, and they looked at them on a spectrum of frequency of orgasm. The men who were having an average of 20 orgasms a month, and this is especially true in the younger years. It's actually protective in the latter years, but the men who continued on to experience orgasm more frequently had a virtually zero risk of prostate cancer. As they looked at the frequency, as the frequency diminished, the prostate cancer risk increased. And this was an amazing study, and it really, when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because when the prostate stops doing its job, everything kind of just backs up in it. And this is where the problems occur.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That does make sense.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. And one of the things I wanted to say, too, a lot of times, us males, we don't go to the doctor, until something goes on.
We're men.
Yeah. But I want to recommend, again, that if you're African American, you are more susceptible to prostate cancer. So you should start getting checked at about age 45. The rest, kind of the age is about 50. But do that preventive maintenance, because it's easier to deal with a situation if they catch it in the beginning stages. I've got a friend that he just recently diagnosed with prostate cancer. His two brothers had it. His oldest brother decided, I'm not going to worry about it. He's now in stage 4. Nothing can be done about it. Luckily, my friend decided to go in and have that procedure done, and they were able to basically get rid of everything and hope that he'll be normal from here out. So again, you want to take this seriously, because a lot of people just let it go thinking, it'll go away, and it doesn't.
Right. And by the way, most prostate cancers are not threatening. Most doctors, if they find something, they'll tell you, like, we're just going to watch it, because no radical therapy is required. So don't be afraid to go and get checked out because of what you're going to find. Because what you may I have a cousin who was diagnosed with a mild prostate cancer probably about 8 years ago. And his doctor said to him, you're going to die of something else way before you develop full-blown cancer from this one.
Yeah, and I think, again, looking at, what helps to get rid of these things in the beginning stages, it's a lot easier to adjust your diet, get some of these nutrients from foods, from supplements, versus waiting until you are at the end where there's nothing that can be done.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and take our break now? And when we come back, let's talk about foods that help with the prostate, but also some foods to avoid. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do this. We're going to take one quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more Science for Humans. Stay tuned. Do you know how to properly use carbohydrates to ignite your performance in the field and in the gym? You will now, thanks to this free book by EFX Sports. The Carb User's Guide for Maximum Performance reveals why omitting carbohydrates from your diet can totally crush your gains. Ever wonder how many grams you need for your specific sport? Not anymore. We give you the critical number you need to dominate your competition. You'll even discover the super carb that's taking the athletic world by storm. You must try it to believe it. Go to getcarbolin.com/carb guide today and get your copy absolutely free. Once again, it's getkarbolin.com/CARBGUIDE.
For the best in real world, no nonsense, result producing and effective strength training, muscle building, and physical culture information, read Brooks Kubic's books and courses. Don't delay. Sprint on over to brookscubic.com and choose from more than a dozen of the best books and courses on the market. Brooks Kubic's training advice has been building strength, transforming physiques, and changing lives for more than 25 years. If you prefer ebooks, look for Brooks Kubic's best-selling courses at Amazon's Kindle bookstore. Show your support for Physical Culture Radio by going to brookscubic.com right now.
Hey, this is Carl. Start your day just like I do with a high-dose lipospheric vitamin C from Live On Labs. You too can benefit from Live On Labs' lipospheric delivery system. No more pills or powders. That's outdated technology. Live On Labs has the world's most efficient vitamin delivery system, period. Learn a lot more today at liveonlabs.com and benefit from their new reduced pricing. That's liveonlabs.com, Livon labs.com. Prime Nutrition is proud to present Max HP, their most scientifically formulated pre-workout supplement to date. Now available in 2 great tasting flavors, tropic fruit and raspberry. Max HP is the most ultra-premium pre-workout available and is made without any artificial colors, flavors, or dye. Increasing blood flow to heighten anabolic activity, Max HP is designed to meet the heightened metabolic needs of high-performance athletes. Visit PrimeNutrition.com and use coupon code SuperhumanRadio to receive 20% off of your entire order. Go to PrimeNutrition.com today.
The category killer is back. Mass Pro Synthogen, with results literally from Workout 1. You'll recover like you're a teenager again. If you've been pouring your heart out in the gym with little to nothing to show for it, you owe it to yourself to see the performance-enhancing and cosmetic effects it can make almost immediately. One user said, I wish I could have tried it sooner. I just ordered 2 more bottles. And another, the overall single best bodybuilding supplement I have personally ever used. Visit CoachRobRegas.com or PredatorNutrition.com to learn more today. Mass Pro Synthogen. When you train with it, you'll gain with it. MadeByHemp.com sells the highest quality products derived from industrial hemp, raw oils high in CBD, tinctures, and salves. You can also get fashionable apparel made from industrial hemp at MadeByHemp.com. CBD is a constituent of industrial hemp that has no psychoactive properties, but has been shown to provide a variety of health benefits. Go to MadeByHemp.com today and take a look at all of our amazing products. Use the coupon code SHR to save 25% off your entire order. MadeByHemp.com, your one-stop shop for all things hemp on the web.
From the makers of GLC 2000, now comes Actistatin Pro Athlete. The Actistatin formula gives you all 4 forms of glucosamine and chondroitin, plus Actistatin's triple patented delivery method to optimize cellular uptake and utilization of glucosamines, chondroitin, ascorbate, and manganese. Regenerate and maintain cartilage, promote joint mobility and flexibility, replenish lost collagen. Get 20% off your next order using the coupon code SHR. Go to superhumanradio.com and click the GLC banner ad today. Push the limits. Feel the difference with Actistatin.
Move over, superheroes. This is the Superhuman Channel.
Welcome back to Science for Humans with my co-host, Dr. Jeff Galini. I'm Carl Lenore. We're talking about prostate health. We talked about supplements earlier and even some other things that might help your prostate. But really what it comes down to quite often is making healthy decisions, especially about food. So, Dr. Jeff, what foods seem to present themselves as being good for the prostate?
Here's the good food. So I want to say, John, thanks from La Verne, California, for presenting me with this question, because I probably wouldn't have thought about prostate health, but so I do appreciate that. Brazil nuts, Carl. I'm going to now add Brazil nuts to my my nut campaign because they're very rich in selenium and zinc. And selenium and zinc are very important for prostate health. Broccoli. It contains several phytonutrients which contain anti-cancer properties. So broccoli, good stuff.
Doesn't broccoli contain something called DIM? I think it is, that a lot of the bodybuilders back in the day used to use to try to control estrogen levels.
I'm not sure about the DIM. You know, this in particular, the sulfamine and the indoles. So yeah, well, actually, it does contain indoles, indole 3 carbonate, which is the DIN, which also is a anti-aromatase.
Yeah.
So good stuff to eat. Cayenne pepper, cayenne has an ability that capsicum, that causes prostate cancer cells to basically commit suicide. They just die.
Interesting.
And then we were talking about the supplement green tea. Drinking green tea. Again, green tea has all different types of antioxidants, polyphenols, and research has shown that, these help to destroy certain bacteria and viruses, and especially those that do cause prostate cancer. So green tea, good. And you're my favorite, mushrooms, which every time we're having a steak and we order mushrooms, we tell the waiter about mushroom
I know
abilities.
So last time we were at what was the steakhouse we went to in Montana last time? Was it Texas?
At, Texas Row House.
Yeah. So the kid came up and asked us if we wanted, and I said mushrooms, and Dr. Jeff said mushrooms, and then I started to tell him about how mushrooms are cancer protective. And I think he thought to us, look, I just need to get to the next table. Can you just place your order?
Yeah. Mushrooms. I'm not even going to ask if you want onions, because who knows what that could do. Pomegranate. University of Los Angeles, California researchers found that pomegranate juice significantly slowed down the progression of prostate cancer. So pomegranates, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds contain carotenoids and omega-3, and we already said omega-3s are really good for prostate health, which moves us into that beautiful salmon fish. Again, high in omega-3s, which are important for supporting prostate health.
Hey, Dr. Jeff, do you think that all fatty fish, like even sardines, are high in omega-3s, anchovies are high in omega-3s? So would you just say salmon and all fatty fish?
Absolutely. I mean, even the whiter fishes do contain some omega-3s, just not as high. But yeah, absolutely. Salmon, just because that's the more common one. Any type of fattier fish, good omega-3s. Tomatoes contain lycopene, which is a very potent antioxidant. And again, that's shown to enhance prostate health. And the last on the list, which isn't really a food, it's more of a spice, but turmeric. Turmeric was traditionally used to fight inflammation, colds, asthma. But scientists are now discovering that it has anti-cancer properties, including its ability to fight prostate cancer. So really what that equates to is healthy eating, eating more healthy, preparing your foods. The National Cancer Society, says, stay away from, processed meats.
Yeah.
Excess fatty acids that are, kind of the bad stuff. Processed foods in general. So it really comes back to, eating a more healthy diet. There's got to be a reason why prostate cancer is increasing, where, 20 or 30 years ago, it was much less. And some of it, besides all the pesticides and things, I think contributes to the fact that we are sloppy eaters here in America.
Sloppy eaters who eat a pro-inflammatory diet. The common link in this discussion, as you point out, are the anti-inflammatory things seem to help protect the prostate. And that's because when you eat processed foods, they generally have lots of omega-6 type fatty acids in them because of the vegetable oils that they use, hydrogenated oils that they use. It comes down to inflammation. The reason for cancer is because your body becomes chronically inflamed and it can't deal with it for very long, and so cells start to mutate. And so anything that you can do, I'll tell you something else. Strenuous, intense exercise is what charges the glutathione system. Glutathione is a master antioxidant that has anti-inflammatory benefits in the body. And guess what? You can't get nearly as much of it from food or supplements as you can from an arduous, intense 45-minute workout.
Yeah, and and I think that's really the key. I mean, you got to keep backing up, okay, supplements, foods, but like you said, it comes down to let's just exercise. I get a little frustrated when you talk to somebody about, well, you need to go exercise, and they go, I don't have time. I mean, you got to make time.
Yes.
You take your car in to get the oil change. You just got to make time to exercise.
Well, they will make time when they go to their doctor's office and get diagnosed with cancer, and then they'll spend 50 to 75% of their week going from specialist to doctor to pharmacy and worrying about their cancer. So why not just do what you need to do now to avoid that in the future?
Absolutely. And that really, prevention is what, our industry is all about. Let's look at, preventing prostate cancer. So, we don't have to discuss what to do when you get it. I think, again, this is something that 190,000, I think maybe half of it could be prevented. Obviously there are that are hereditary and things that happen, but I think a good amount of those could be prevented just from exercising and a healthy diet.
And I know that a lot of people probably think that I say that exercise is the answer to everything, but I got to be honest with you. It really is. It's not exercise. It's activity/inactivity. And we are designed to be very active, but our modern lifestyle is designed to keep us very inactive. And this leads to depression, cancer, heart disease. All cause mortality is increased by inactivity. So when we talk about exercise, people go, it's not all about, yes, because we have to artificially find ways to stay active today because we sit in the car, we don't walk anywhere anymore. We sit at our desk. We don't lift heavy things anymore. We sit back in our car. We sit at our dinner table. We sit in front of our TV set, and then we lay down in bed. That is 80% of the average American's day. That is the link to disease. So you do have to find reasons to exercise, yes.
Well, you do. And, look at the research that's now coming out showing that by exercising your brain, what that does. Well, your brain is a muscle. So just stop at your brain. I agree. You got to keep sharp. You got to keep doing puzzles and reading and doing things. But, the body, you got to keep the blood pumping. You got to keep healthy. And again, exercise isn't what Carl and I do. That is kind of the extreme. Anyone can get in, and you don't even have to go to a gym. Invest, $200 in a treadmill or a bike, or go outside if you live in the warm weather. But don't let, wintertime being an excuse to do nothing.
Right.
You can always find something to do. So we just want to encourage you to get on a healthy eating program, and exercise.
And have your prostate checked, because there's no better way to find out what's going on than to have a doctor do a digital exam and say, uh-oh, I think we have a problem. Don't be surprised
Absolutely.
by a diagnosis of cancer. Dr. Jeff, so people can reach out to you, and the new thing is to go to superhumanradio.com, click the Ask the Scientist banner ad, and go, hey, Dr. Jeff, send me some stuff.
And what you got to do is, if what I do send you some stuff, you not got to do something in return. You either got to take a picture and post it, or take a video. I want to show people how surprised you are on what you get.
Yeah.
And again, the whole reason behind doing this is that, EFX Sports are great products, but my philosophy is you should try something before you buy it. You should never buy a car without driving it. You should never buy a horse without riding it, and you should never buy a supplement without being able to try it. I just like you to be surprised when you get some extra goodies that you didn't think about. And Carl, right now, I actually found some extra goodies. So for the next month, I'll be including a few little extra things in the sample boxes.
Surprises, and you want to know what they are? You'll have to ask Dr. Jeff for some stuff. That's
right.
Dr. Jeff, thanks for being on the show today, brother.
Thanks, man. Take care.